Okay, this quick video is addressing a couple questions that I've had about how do you show Alaska and Hawaii in multiple data frames. The way to do that is we're going to insert new data frame. So this is one data frame with cities and counties in it. Let's go to layout view. And in layout view, we've got our page showing those US counties and cities. So to add in the new data frames, we're going to go insert up at the top here, insert data frame, and that adds in a new blank data frame. Now to actually get data into it, we're just going to, you can right click copy, or you can just drag, make sure it's in list by drawing order. Then you can just drag counties down into it and it copies it. You can drag cities in there and it just copies it. And then let's zoom in on Alaska. There we go. And then it's taking up kind of a lot of space, so let's make it a little bit smaller. There's a more appropriate size. Let's zoom back out on Alaska. That's better. I think we got all or most of the islands. That's good enough. Okay. Can also zoom in on US states right there. That looks a little bit better. There. Okay. Not a great looking layout, but that's fine. One thing to think about if you are trying to display anything here, let's say counties, symbology, quantities, we want persons per square mile. So pop 10 square mile. Cool. All right, that's good. Looks ugly, lots of decimal points. That's bad. I got to change it. Let's go quantile. That'll look better. Okay, pretty. All right. Well, okay, now we have two different symbolizations in our data frames. How do we get this new one in there? Well, most efficient way would just be to wait and add your counties and new data frames until after you're happy with the layout. So we can right click remove. And again, if we just drag this down, it'll copy the symbology that we set up so that Alaska is correct. Now let's do Hawaii, insert again, data frame. It's a new blank data frame. If you do this in data view, you might freak out at first because it's going to be a completely empty data frame. There's nothing in it, right? Let's go back to our original one. Just click on it, activate, and hey, look, great, it's got all the data in it. Go back to the new data frame that had Alaska in it, activate, and it's got Alaska, cool. The new data frame that's empty, you can see it's empty there, activate, it's empty. But let's drag cities down into it. Cities show up. Let's drag counties down into it. Counties show up. That's good. Let's go back into layout view. And again, it's got the whole 50 states. We're going to zoom in on just Hawaii. So you want the magnifying glass, drag a box around Hawaii. That's okay. Select elements. Let's adjust it. Hawaii should be smaller than Alaska, right? And there we go. Now, why is Hawaii tilted at a funny angle? It's because Hawaii is in the same projection as Alaska and the 50 or 48 contiguous states. If you wanted Hawaii to look kind of a more normal way of what you're used to, you could go, well, you're going to change the projection. And I think just a normal USGS W84 makes it look more similar to what you're used to. There you go. That's Hawaii as you know it. That was just geographic world. WGS 84 is a global geographic coordinate system. And there we go. So you got two new data frames with Alaska, Hawaii, and the other 48 states. If I was making this for real and I cared about it, I'd change those decimal points. I would zoom in or maybe make this landscape view instead of portrait so that we don't have Alaska's little tail hanging out there. Another thing to think about is you want to keep these boxes around Alaska and Hawaii so that it's obvious that they're not islands floating off the coast of southern United States. All right, enjoy.